Hello and welcome to the Weekly Rewind presented by Attractions Magazine. I'm your host, Theron White, and this week I'll be joined with co-host Cynthia. Say hello.
Hello everyone, I'm super excited to be joining Attractions Magazine on the Weekly Rewind as I follow it every week. We have a lot planned for this week and let's get into it.
Starting on Monday, we see the Jigsaw House has been announced for Halloween Horror Night 27. Now, Cynthia, I know you've never been to Halloween Horror Nights before, but from personal experience, it's amazing. Have you done anything like that before?
I actually have been to Halloween out in Tampa at Busch Gardens when I was about 9 years old. The one thing I remember is the vampire house and just how it came with me through the years and how I'm so excited to be in another house. So I feel like this year I should definitely try Universal.
Well, I can tell you this, Halloween Horror Nights is definitely the premier Halloween event. They have been winning awards for years and years and years, so this is definitely going to be a very new experience and something really into the full immersion. I know that I've never really even seen the Saw movies, but kind of like last year, I watched the Krampus movie just in preparation for Halloween Horror Nights, so I'll probably watch some Saw, if not at least watch some scenes from the movie so I can kind of get prepared for that. I'm definitely excited to see what they do this year. I know they said they're going to kind of play it off with the Jigsaw movie that's coming later this year, so we might be able to see some traps from that film as well as some classic traps throughout the years.
Knowing that Saw is coming out, the 8th movie in the installments, on October 27th, I feel like that's going to give people more of a want to go see this house in the scare zones.
I completely agree. I feel like they definitely did it on purpose. I don't know if it was Saul's idea or Halloween Horror Nights, but I'm sure that movie coming out, along with it just being a really big franchise as it is definitely going to get people to want to go and see this house in person. Now, moving on to Tuesday, we're going to talk about being most excellent to each other, as Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventures is going to have its farewell show this year at Halloween Horror Nights 27. Now, this show has been going on for 26 years, parodying everything from major politics, like last year Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, to making fun of Disney's Avatar, making fun of SeaWorld. It's just a big parody thing about pop culture as a whole. So it's a really, really great show. I know you have not seen it before, Cynthia, but are you definitely going to make sure to get out for this year's farewell tour?
I do believe I'm going to go see this show. Unfortunately, I've never been, so I don't know what to expect. But what intrigues me is that this is a show that's not only comedy, but incorporates horror. And I just don't know how they're going to do that, but I'm excited to see what awaits.
They always do a really, really good job. It always has like dance sequences and singing sequences and obviously tons and tons of humor, which is why everyone keeps going back every year. I love that they always make it new. I am definitely interested. I've never been to the last show, as everyone talks about, just seeing the absolute last one where they kind of go crazy, as well as the first couple of shows they do before they really like whittle it down and get it to exactly what they want the show to be. So I definitely want to go towards the beginning, and then if possible, I want to go to the very last show and see how that one is as well, because they're definitely famous for that, as well as it being the farewell show. We also have some other cool news. We did have a guest co-show host for the show for Attractions Magazine. His name was Jason Perry. He's going to be back this year playing as Ted for the farewell tour of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. So great to see that he gets to come back and do that one more time, and I hope he has an amazing performance. I can't wait to go out and see all of his amazing stunts and gags and see the whole show as well. Now on Wednesday, we talk about Ellen's Energy Adventure and its last ever ride. Now, you might have heard that the last ride ever was actually evacuated, did not get to complete the final ride, but the guests who were on it got to walk around the entire dinosaur scene, which looks amazing. I was not part of it, but I know a lot of people for the attractions crew were able to experience it, and they said they had a ton of fun. You went on it as well, right, Cynthia? I mean, I know you're new to kind of Disney this year, but you went on it, right?
Yes, I'm definitely new to Disney, but Ellen has been one of my favorite things to watch on primetime TV. So being able to see a ride with her in it from back in the day really made me happy, and she was just making jokes, and the show itself is so fun. I think what made me happy to see that they were able to evac in the dinosaur scenes is to be able to see the animatronics that they had back in the day as well.
Yeah, that's one of the things that always like really impressed me about that ride. Like, I'm not going to lie. I was with a lot of people that kind of considered like the Energy Adventure ride a spot to take a nap and get in some air conditioning. I enjoyed it, but I really enjoyed it for more of looking back in the day when it was first opened, seeing how impressive it would have been back then. Not as impressive now. I still appreciated the ride, but it's not as impressive. But it's really cool that everyone got to get out. If I was going to be evacs for any part of the entire ride, that definitely would have been it. To get really up and close with all those animatronics and be able to see them. So that's awesome that they were able to experience that. Now, moving on to Thursday, we talk about Spooky Day in the Parks, and specifically Gala at the Tower. They've rented out the Tower of Terror, so for $369, you can go to the Tower of Terror after park close, have unlimited rides, go to the dessert bar, go to some of the character photo ops, and I think this is definitely going to be really popular. What do you think?
I think that if you're a Tower of Terror fan, this is going to be great for you. I personally can't stomach the ride. It's beautiful. I love the aesthetic, but it's just not for me. But I definitely think getting dressed up and having the dessert and the character photo ops is definitely something that I would like to do.
Now, I know while you're not the biggest fan of the ride, you like the aesthetics, but not the ride actually itself. I'm sure a lot of the viewers know that Banksley is a huge fan of the Tower of Terror, especially the one here in Orlando, with all of its extra special effects that some of the other ones might not have. During the Star Wars event, like 2 years ago, he went and just rode that all by himself and got a really cool picture there. So I got a feeling that he would love to sneak into this thing, get himself a ticket and just ride that ride again and again and again. So if you're a huge Tower of Terror fan or you want some awesome photo ops with characters like Maleficent, I highly recommend looking into this for yourself. Now we are on to Friday, where we talk about some of the Halloween Horror Nights scare zones. These are always some of my favorites because it's like the house, you really get into it, no need to wait for a line, just kind of go through an area. I'm very excited for these. There's bringing back The Purge. So I know that was the first ever one I did. I went to Halloween Horror Nights 24 with my sister McKenna, and we're both big fans of The Purge, and going to see that scare zone was so amazing. So the part they're bringing it back is going to be awesome. I wasn't the biggest fan of the house when they did that, but I am a really big fan of the scare zone, so I'm excited to see that. And there's a bunch of others coming as well.
Yeah, so there's also going to be Trick or Treat, Altars of Horror, Invasion, and Festival of the Deadliest. I'm personally excited for the Purge scare zone as well. I've never personally been in any type of scare zone, but I feel like Purge would be the perfect one.
Yeah, they actually do it in like the New York City streets of Universal, so they do a really, really good job of kind of taking you into not only that city street, but making it real. I remember they had like a van pull up and they threw like a guest in there. Like, it was a fake guest, but it looks like a real guest. They throw them into the van and capture them, and later they get executed and all this stuff. So it really kind of gets you into the feeling and the theme. I'm also interested, I know the Trick or Treat one sounds pretty cool. I'm sure there's going to be popping out from behind the doors and stuff like that. But the Invasion one sounds interesting. Because since I've gone to Halloween Horror Nights, they haven't really done an alien-themed one that I can think. I mean, they did Alien versus Predator, but I feel like this kind of sounds like the old 50s version of Aliens. So I just feel like that'd be really fun if they were to do like that really kooky 50s style of the huge eyes and big green head aliens. I don't know if that's exactly what they'll do, but it says they'll be experimenting on humans, so I'm definitely excited to see that.
To me, the Invasion scare zone actually reminds me of the old game, Destroy All Humans. The PlayStation game is actually one of my favorites, where they would harvest brains, and you would just be going out trying to harvest all the humans' brains. And I'm not sure exactly if that's the route they're going to go with it, but I'm excited to see what they do with it.
They could harvest my brain. I would do that. If I could be part of Halloween Horror Nights, I could be one to give it up. Be cool. Now, as we move on to Saturday, we're going to look at Disney PhotoPass Day. Now, I won't lie, I'm not the biggest fan of meeting characters. At least the ones that like try to have like huge interactions with you. I feel like I don't know what to say. I will be like, "Hello, Elsa." She'll be like, "Did you get ice today?" And I'll be like, "Yes. Lots of ice. Good lemonade." I don't know. I just feel like I'm awkward. I love meeting characters like Baymax and stuff. So when it came to Disney PhotoPass Day, I wasn't the most excited, but I know so many people were, and they had a chance to meet plenty of new characters that you never really get to see it all. Plenty of opportunities to take photos with them. You like meeting characters.
I love meeting characters. That's where we're kind of different in that aspect. I know that they had so many different characters that weren't out, and then they also had so many different backdrops. The one that was my favorite, and I'm actually really jealous that everyone else got to do this, was the Tangled Lantern scene. So what they did was projected lanterns onto it, and as you know, that's like one of the statements of Rapunzel and that whole movie Tangled, and that's just something I wish I would have been able to do. So they also had, I know, Timon, Mushu, Genie, Captain Hook, Maleficent, which is very rare as well, Cruella de Vil, Cinderella's coach to stand in front of and take a picture, and that was also a very beautiful photo op, by the way.
Yeah, that one's kind of rare. Sometimes they'll bring out the coach just for random reasons. I think they did it for Valentine's Day. It is definitely cool to see that. I know, character-wise, the people were going crazy for it. There was a 3-hour wait just to see Maleficent.
The one time I was able to meet Maleficent, it was about a 2-hour wait, but it was definitely worth it. I was with my college program roomie, Paige, and we were on our little mouse ears, ready to go see Maleficent, and there she was in her sassy, evil queen self, and she just said, "I don't do business with mice." And we had an amazing picture, so it was a really great photo op.
Now, lastly, we're going to move on to Sunday, where I know Cynthia will be able to talk about this a lot more than I do, but they're now having interchangeable bows that have come actually to Disney Springs, where instead of just buying like a mini ear with a specific character on it, you can actually buy one set of mini ears and interchange the bows so you can be tons of different characters. How do you feel about that?
I'm actually so excited for these. I've seen them on the Outsies, and now finally Disney has made their own. So now you can get interchangeable ears for anyone from Alice, the Queen of Hearts, to Cruella de Vil, and any of the princesses like Aurora, Ariel, and even the villains like Maleficent. And I just think that that's going to be great because someone like me, where I love to express myself through ears, and I don't just have one favorite princess or one favorite character, it's definitely going to be so cool to be able to just use one set of ears, but be able to be Ariel one day and Princessy, and then also be a villain one day in the parks.
Oh, I bet these are going to be stupidly popular. I can imagine Disney put these out just going, yep, this is going to make us a lot of money. And I'm sure it will, because they just have, I believe it's the 7 right now, characters that you can change in and out. But I'm sure this is more of like a test, just, hey, let's see how fast these sell so we know how many to order for next time. I'm sure they already probably have almost every princess and every villain already ready, just basically waiting to see how many they need to order and get ready for when people do start buying these. I expect to see it in a lot more places.
I'm actually really excited about the rose gold ears as well. For my preppy self, I love my silver sparkly ears, and rose all day is just something that's trending in all fashion. And I know that all our little princesses through the parks and even our adults are going to love it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Mickey and Minnie ears are super popular as it is. So not only having like rose gold ones, but having interchangeable ones, just more and more options is just going to be better. I'm just waiting, when Star Wars Land opens, I just want interchangeable blasters or like lightsabers or something. That'll get me. That'll be my fashion accessory. And that is it for this episode of
The Weekly Rewind,
presented by
Attractions Magazine.
Thank you guys so much for watching. And Cynthia's actually got our question for this week.
So the question this week is going to be, for these interchangeable ears, what would you like to see next? You know that there's 7 different ones ranging from princess to characters and also villains. So what would you like to see next?
Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you have
An amazing week.